Jared Kelly, the youth minister from Timberlane Church of Christ. What are you doing here, man?
Hey man, I'm a big fan of this show.
Oh, cool.
Did you get the fish?
You left the fish?
Yeah man, absolutely.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, I came here through some tunnels.
There's tunnels?
Yeah, so a long time ago, apparently Timberlane, if they didn't have a potluck that day, but y'all did, they built a tunnel so that they could get to Nerdy Woods faster.
Free lunch.
Yeah, I gotta get the bagel bites first.
Nice. Hey, so while you're here, mind talking about Judges a little bit for us?
Absolutely, let's do it.
Perfect.
Hey guys, other Jared here, Jared from Timberlane, and I'm going to be doing y'all's Devo today. It's day 36 of the Quarantine Diaries, and I came here today to help out other Jared. Apparently he's been locked in here this whole time, so I'm doing setting up y'all's Devos for the next week of the Quarantine Diaries. Right now, Jared wanted me to talk about the book of Judges and kind of give an introduction for that book. So where we are in the biblical story is that Joshua, one of the right-hand men of Moses, he's now died. And most of the land of Israel is conquered, but there's still a few enemies left. And what happens is that when Joshua dies, there's no real leader that steps up for the Israelite people. And the Israelite people are divided into their own tribes, and they live in their own areas. And there's not just one solid leader for them. They don't have a king or anything. Well, anyway, what happens is, unfortunately, they completely turn away from God. And they forget all those great things that God's done for them, all the many times that he's delivered them. And the story of the Judges is basically this huge cycle. It's like this circle. It's where Israel will forget about God and start going into sin, and then start believing in other gods and not following their own God. And so they fall into sin. And then another nation, either be the Philistines or whoever else is in the chapter in the book, will come and enslave them and capture them. And so then the Israelites, they repent and they ask for deliverance. And God sends these characters called judges. And judges are really cool characters because some are heroes. Some don't really have very many flaws. Like you have Deborah and Ehud, who are really strong heroes like Samuel, which are really good people. You kind of have your anti-heroes, which are just heroes that do some good, but they make some mistakes. Like you have Gideon and Jephthah. So there's a lot of interesting characters in the book of Judges, but just to kind of give you a verse to kind of put it all in mind, Judges chapter 2 verse 18 says, "When the Lord raised up judges from them, the Lord was with the judge and delivered them from the hand of their enemies all the days of the judge. For their Lord was moved to pity by their groaning because of those who oppressed and afflicted them." So even though the people of Israel were unfaithful, God was always faithful. And he never broke his covenant with them, even though Israel had broken its promise with God. So I'm going to set Jared up, and he's going to talk to you guys about the judge Samson. And I'm sure he's going to get into whether or not Samson was really a good judge or a bad judge. Is he kind of a little bit of both? And just talk about the story of Samson. And so thanks for adding me on the Quarantine Diaries, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Wow, that was awesome. Thank you so much, Jared Kelly, for being on the show today and for being a good sport. And thank you for being such a huge fan of the show. That really means a lot. And I don't think that's the last we'll see of Jared Kelly. For tomorrow's video, we're going to talk about Samson. So to catch up, read Judges chapter 13 through 16. Let's go ahead and end on our verse of the week. This week's verse of the week is Psalm 23. "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever."